Hi there, I'm Caleb Wilson with the Media Resources Center, and I'm here to talk to you about the OU Campus version 11 update. This is a pretty big update, and if you're looking at this for the first time, it's going to look very different than version 10, and you may be a little freaked out about that, but we're going to walk through some of the major changes, the biggest things that will impact you, and how you use OU Campus in the future. First of all, the look and feel is totally different, right? It's a lot cleaner, easier to read. A big part of this redesign is so that we have better usage between desktop, laptop, and tablet displays. There's a lot of people who aren't just working on this at their desktop computer, their big monitor, or their dual monitors. We got some folks working on a laptop remotely, or even tablet displays. And so this is going to work a lot better with those different types of displays and those different display sizes. The next thing that I will mention that you're going to see quite a bit of, and I'll go into more in just a bit, but I'll point it out real quick. You're going to see a lot more of this down here, these three dots. If you click on that, this is our More Actions icon, and you're going to see that throughout the OU Campus site. And what that does is when we click on that, it's exactly what it says. It gives us some more actions that we can take. So it's kind of a way to help clean up and one way that OU is cleaning up that view by hiding some of the actions in this More Actions button. You'll see when I click on that, these buttons go vertical. That lets me know that this is open. I can look at the options available. And then when I close it, it goes back to horizontal. So I'll point that out and some of the ways that you'll be using that a little bit more here in a bit. The other big update, just site-wide, is that OU Campus version 11 has been updated for accessibility and keyboard navigation. So if you prefer using the keyboard navigation, this is going to work a lot better for you than it did in version 10. So those are some of the big site-wide changes and things to be looking for. But let's go ahead and dig into some of the details, some of the big changes that you'll be working with here in OU Campus. The first, we're going to look at the new dashboard, or some of the new layout of the new dashboard. And the biggest thing that stands out to me, or stood out to me when I first started, was this recently visited box. And what this is it's just going to give you links to the latest files that you've been working on in OU Campus. So one thing I normally point out in my trainings is this bookmarks gadget down here. This is a great way to sort of create quick links to files that you work on frequently. Well, you may be working quite a bit on maybe a new page or a new section, but later down the road, you'll probably not be working on it as much. So what's nice about this recently visited is it gives me access to a lot of the recent files that I've been using. So if I'm working on something new, I'm going to see those files right here at the top, and I can jump to them very quickly without having to navigate through content and pages. So that's pretty nice. Another thing you might notice is this icon over here. We have your profile picture. For me, I've got this little pencil icon. And underneath it, we have some new buttons. And these are actually some old friends. So here we have our inbox, quick access to that. We also have quick access to the workflow. And then something that's moved is the configure dashboard gadgets. So if you know from our previous training, these are called our dashboard gadgets, all of these little boxes down here. And if I want to change these or remove some or add some gadgets, I'm just going to go right here to this icon, open it up, and select or deselect the gadgets that I want to include or remove from my dashboard. And then I'll click Save to finish those changes. Another thing, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but you'll notice that because we have this much cleaner look, this gives us room for more information to be displayed for each of these gadgets. So I have to do a lot less clicking in order to see that information that I need to access real quick. So I don't have to dive into some of these links to get some of the most important information that I need. So that is our new dashboard. Let's go ahead and look up here to the very top. This toolbar up here is called our Global Navigation menu. And the only real big change here, besides some things sort of shifting around a little bit, is that instead of hovering to see these options, now we have to click to see these menu options. And if we want a submenu, we'll click on that. So we'll have to click in order to see these menu and submenu options. What was happening before in version 10 is that you had to hover over this. All you had to do was hover to see these options. And it was causing some people to mistakenly click on items they didn't intend to click on. So now they've resolved that just by making you click on these menus in order to see them. So now let's jump into content and pages. And we'll look at some of the changes that have happened to the file list view. So right now when we go to content and pages, we'll see this house icon that lets us know that we're in the main directory for our website. So this is the top level of our folders. And everything kind of looks the same as it did before. Something you might notice is that we are missing some options over here on the right. And like I mentioned before, in order to see some of those missing options that you may be looking for over here, we need to look for that More Actions icon. So this is where that shows up again. And when I click on that, we'll see either File, Publish, Review, Edit. Depending on your user level, you're going to have some different options there. But that's how we access those. That More Actions icon. So if there's anything that you don't see that you're used to seeing somewhere, make sure you look for this, because it may be hiding somewhere in there. And let's go ahead and open my training folder. And we'll see some additional changes here. What's nice about moving some of those options to this More Actions icon is that it gives us room to get some more information. And so you can see already, we had this before, but we're able to see status. So here I've got some pages checked out. It also looks like there's a red padlock icon, and it looks like someone else has this page checked out. Looks like Jeremy's got it. But that's if you see a page and it's locked like that, you can hover over that and see who has that page checked out. That's old stuff. But what's new is to the right, you'll see where it says Unpublished and Unpublished Changes. And so we can quickly look without having to open the file if a page has been published at all, or maybe it's been or published, but some changes have been made and those have not been published. And so we can see those real quick. If we don't see anything here, everything's updated and published, and what you see is what you get on the live website. But this is kind of nice if we're, looking at something, or maybe we've created some new pages and we think everything's published and live on the website, and we see, oh, it's unpublished. That means I need to go in, we need to publish that. Or if I'm going through and I notice there's a page with some unpublished changes, and maybe I'm not aware that someone's making changes to those pages, I can go in and maybe ask this person, or I can go in and check out what some of those changes are before we go live. So this just gives us, by cleaning up this area, it gives us access to more info at a glance. And let's go ahead, there's another change here, and I'm going to access that by publishing one of these items. So we have an unpublished change here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on this and go to Publish. And something you might notice is that our page check options look a little bit different. And it all works the same, so we automatically have this accessibility check run. And if we want to run some of these others, like the spell check or the link check, I can click on one of these icons right here. And if I want to see any of those accessibility issues or exceptions, I just click on that link right there. So it all works the same, it just looks a little bit different. And when we're ready, we'll go ahead and click Publish. And down at the bottom, you'll notice that that notification that used to be kind of take up the whole bottom of the screen has been moved over and decreased in size and moved over to the left. So we can see Publish in Progress, we can see our finished published item, and then also a link to view that in a new window. So that's kind of nice. It's kind of gotten out of the way. Sometimes it would hide important features or important content when we were working. And so that's nice that they've kind of moved that out of the way. Let's go ahead and open another one of these. And once we get to the page level, once we open up a page and we're ready to edit, there's, again, some other kind of cosmetic changes. Not a whole lot of new stuff, but something you may notice is we're in the edit mode, and it used to be the multi-edit button was right here in the middle. It was a big orange button, highly visible right there in the middle. Now they've moved it over to the right a little bit, and sort of made it sort of match the rest of the color scheme of OU Campus. So if you're looking for it, it's off to the right and not quite as highlighted. We also have our regular preview, edit, source, properties, and versions. Something you may be looking for are a couple of options that used to show up right here. And of course, where do you think they are? If we look over to the right, we have that More Actions icon. We can click on that, and there is our page check and our save version. So those used to show up in version 10 right here. Once we checked out the page, now they're over here in More Actions. Another button they've added, and this is really nice. So if I'm working on a page and I want to reference the current live version, I can click on this View Published Page. And that's just a link to the current live version of that page. So that's kind of nice to reference as I'm making changes if you're doing a significant change to a web page. So that's real nice. Another feature that can be kind of nice, especially when you're working on a tablet. You don't have a lot of space when you're working in a smaller window, and so they've added this toggle focus mode. And all that does, it's real simple and it's not huge, but it removes that area right here and expands the area for the content that you're editing. And you can toggle that back and forth. And again, that's just that removing this top area right here, all this blank space, so we can focus more on the content that we're working on. All right, last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and open up one of my content sections. And like normal, we get our Wysiwyg Toolbar, and Wysiwyg stands for What You See is What You Get. It's our text editor, our visual editor for OU Campus. And all of this is pretty much the same. A couple of things that have changed are mostly cosmetic. Some of the icons have been updated. And you can see right here, Restore Last Draft. And that's that kind of a clock with a counterclockwise arrow. And I'm not sure exactly what this icon used to be, but now it is if we want to show the different blocks. So here's our header H2, our paragraph H3. This is a little paragraph icon inside a little dotted box. And then next to that we have our special characters, which is now an omega symbol. If we go to this button, it used to be Insert Edit Video, and now it's Insert Edit Media. And I think those are all the big changes. I would just recommend going through here and making yourself comfortable with these. Nothing big has changed here, but if you're looking for a particular icon, I think those are the 3 that have changed, or 3 or 4 that have changed. So they may be a little bit different. Just kind of be aware of that. And of course, when you're done, save and exit and publish when you're ready for that stuff to go live. And that's it. Those are kind of the big changes for OU Campus in version 11. If you're anything like me, I was a little bit unsure when I first started, but I've grown to really appreciate some of these changes. It's made it a lot cleaner and a lot simpler to navigate and make changes in OU Campus. So if you're a little bit worried at first, I promise, give it some time, work with it a little bit, and I think you're really going to like it. So let me know if you have any questions. My email is caleb.wilson@wichita.edu, and you can always reach us at the wichita.edu/web support support form for any issues that come up as you use OU Campus. So let us know. Thanks so much. Bye.